guys, so today I'm going to do a little bit different of a video, and I'm going to go over the mistakes that I have made while having this reptile hobby, because I'm not ever going to say that I'm perfect and I've never made mistakes. I do it all the time. I feel like we're all here basically just to learn. We should be helping each other and encouraging positive changes for our reptile keeping. So that's why I'm here today, and I just want you guys to learn from mistakes that I have made so that way you can just have a better life for you and your animals. Also, here's Bowie. Can't ignore him because he is a she. I keep forgetting. That's like gonna mess with my brain for the rest of my life. I always just thought Bowie was a boy, but Bowie is a female. So here she is. So the first mistake that I want to go over today is actually very recent. And basically I was scammed. So I wanted to buy an enclosure for Bowie here because Bowie is getting so big, as you can see, and I wanted to get a bigger enclosure for her. And I found this page on Instagram who recently had this really big giveaway for an enclosure, and it looked like his enclosures were high quality and amazing. So I wanted to support his business and get an enclosure for Bowie. He goes by Reptile on Instagram, and I ordered this enclosure last May. It's August now, and I never received the enclosure, and I was ignored multiple times. I have all of the messages and screenshots. So basically what I've learned from this experience is to be very careful who you're sending your money to on the internet. He really did seem legit, and he wasn't at all. So it's very good to just look out for warning signs. One of the very first things was that he asked for money through PayPal, which is totally fine. That's reputable, but he wanted to do it to sending to friends and family. And at first I thought that was fine because that's what I always do on PayPal. Where are you going? Look at this crazy little noodle. You're all over the place. Anyway, so he wanted to do it to friends and family. I thought it was totally fine, so I did it. And come to find out that when you do that, you can't file a claim. You can only do that if you're sending it to a business, and it was to friends and family. So I called PayPal, and basically there wasn't much they could do other than send him a message telling to send the enclosure or to send me my money back, which I was already messaging him and saying those same exact things, and he was ignoring me. So basically, I just never got my enclosure. He told me multiple times he was going to send it. The very last time, he said he would for sure be sending it August 6th, and he would get back to me with the tracking. He never did. A week went by, so here I am. Oh, you're giving me kisses. Thank you. But anyway, don't do what I did, because it's really bad. Don't support Reptile. He's definitely a scam artist, so avoid that Instagram. I don't want him to scam anyone else. I was really lucky in this situation because I called my bank and they actually are sending me my money back. So thank God I'll be getting my money back because I can't really just spare to lose $625 on this enclosure. It's kind of a big deal. So yeah, I hope that you can learn from my mistake and not make the same one, and just make sure you're sending your money to people that are actually reputable sources, and just be careful because there are scammers out there, even in the reptile hobby. And a page that I think you should check out is actually the FBI for Reptiles. It's a Facebook group where you can basically warn people about things like this. I made a post about this guy on there, and it's just good because you don't want to get scammed, so that can help prevent you from being scammed by people in the future. So the second mistake that I want to go over today is really embarrassing for me because I was basically just done out of complete and utter ignorance. And I mean, anyone that starts out with reptiles, you're gonna make mistakes. It's just gonna happen. That's why we're all here. We're all learning. I know people are probably gonna bash me for this like no other because it happens all the time. But I took a turtle out of the wild, and I'm here today because I don't want others to make the same mistake I did, and I want you to learn from this just as I have. So a few years ago, I found this tiny little turtle, and I basically thought it would be okay to take it home because I thought you shouldn't take animals out of the wild just because you don't want to be taking animals out of the wild a lot and then reduce their numbers in the wild, because that could be really bad for them. I knew that painted turtles were extremely common and that by me taking it, it wouldn't really affect their numbers in the wild whatsoever. So I thought it was okay in my head, and I took this turtle home. So what happened basically is I took this turtle home and she was doing really great. The problem is that I introduced her to new foods that she had never had before in the wild, such as shrimp. And she absolutely loved it, and she loved it way too much because after she had shrimp, she refused to eat any of the other food that I was offering her. I would always give her the same amount of food as my other turtles, different varieties of all these different pellets and veggies, just everything. She would only eat the shrimp. So this went on for a very long time, and because of that, she was lacking a lot of vitamins and nutrients, and that caused her to get a little bit of MBD. She had soft spots on her shell, and it was really bad for her, and I tried to correct that by basically not giving her shrimp anymore, forcing her to eat other foods, which was like impossible because she just didn't want it. I would cover everything in calcium, and I would try to find foods that had shrimp in it as well as other things for more vitamins and nutrients. It was just a complete mess. So after doing this for like a couple years, I moved, and when I moved, it was really, really cold, and because of that, she got really sick because her immune system was down, and she just wasn't in overall very good health because of that lack of vitamins and nutrients. So I had to take her to the vet, and she got pneumonia, and it ended up costing me like $450. I had to inject her every 3 days, and it was just a really, really awful experience. Again, I got very lucky, and she actually got better very, very quickly when she was on her medication. And now she actually eats everything, which is amazing. She's not as picky with her food. But this is just definitely something that you should keep in mind. You should not take animals from the wild whatsoever because you don't know what you're bringing into your house. They may have parasites or diseases, and I think no matter what, when they do get sick, they probably will, it's going to cost you a lot of money. So always just try to get captive bred, especially if you're just looking for a nice little pet. You're gonna not have to deal with the vet and all of the illnesses and things that come along with it by getting something that's from the wild. So I just want people to learn from that experience. Don't do what I did. It was a huge mistake. I regret it. I don't regret having her because I love her and she's happy and healthy now. But it was a really difficult situation, and I think that by educating and teaching others what I had to go through, then they can avoid situations like that. So I hope that this was helpful. Hopefully the comments won't be too crazy because I'm being very honest here, and I'm admitting my faults and things that I've done that are bad, and I hope again that you guys can learn something from it and avoid doing these things. I don't think anyone should have to go through any of this, and it's good to just avoid these issues as much as you possibly can. I've learned from my mistakes, and I'm still learning. I learn every single day. So if you guys ever have to like mention something to me or suggest something about my animals and their care and what I can improve on, I'm all ears. I want to learn. I want to do better for them. And I want you guys to be able to learn from my mistakes as well. So that's everything for today. I hope that you enjoyed the video and have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. And here is Gaia today. She's in her own little tank over here to herself. She seems way more happy when she's alone in her own solitude, and she's begun to heal that metabolic bone disease a bit, and she's eating better, and she just seems way more happy with life.